My curiosity leads me to wonder why we like different sounds. I was downloading a sound from Pixabay, and it was the sound of lightning. Some people like lightning, and some people it brings out a fear response in them. Now, with this particular sound of lightning, there was also the sound of rainfall and the soft rainfall. I like the sound of rain, especially when I'm lying in my bed. And if I had a preference for rain, I would say I probably prefer it to rain at night time, because I know that the land needs the rain, and for it to be sunny during the daytime, and that would seem like a type of perfection for me. But why do these sounds make us feel in a different way? Hearing sounds makes us feel safe. So we know that certain sounds might mean peaceful environments. When we hear birds singing in the morning, we can tell when they're generally happy and communicating with each other. But we also notice that when a blackbird is startled, and it's a warning that something has crossed its path, or it sees danger coming. What about the sound that we might hear of a horn blowing? How does that make us feel? Does it make a startled reflex? Does it increase our heart rate? Does it release adrenaline? How does that make us feel? Now, my curiosity has led me to wonder, if I played certain sounds, would the people listening to the podcast provide me with some feedback on how they felt about the sound they heard? Now, there was a study in the past where they showed that there was a connection between music, emotion, heart rate, and even body temperature. So can you imagine how music could potentially help you when you're going through menopausal symptoms, if it could actually help the lowering of your temperature when you are having a hot flush? That would certainly be some research worth investigating, wouldn't it? But we do know that some music calms us and some music makes us want to get up and dance. Some sounds, like the sound of a clock ticking, can bring calmness to some, whereas others, it might irritate them to hear the sound of ticking going on. The sound of the church bells, some people find beautiful and a sense of being in the countryside, whereas others will write to a newspaper to complain. I moved to this village and the church keeps ringing its bells every week and it wakes me up. I can no longer have a lie-in. So you can imagine the responses that might get. I'm going to add a number of different sounds that I found on Pixabay. And if you would like to comment and tell me how they make you feel, please add your comments to the podcast underneath in the comments section, or maybe you could contact me via email, info@thedandelion.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook, the Dandelion Moon Community, and follow me there and comment and tell me what you thought. Sound number 1 is shown as calming rain. Let me know how this makes you feel. I felt a really weird shiver run down my spine listening to this rain. It felt like the rain was quite forceful. It was hitting the ground with pressure, and this came over me like a wave. I did not find this particular sound of rain relaxing at all. Did you find it relaxing? Now this is rain number 2. How does this rain make you feel? I found this rain version by Don Rain on Pixabay much more relaxing for me, and yet it includes an element of storm in it. Tell me if this helped you. Does rain help you feel relaxed? And would you use the sound of rain to get yourself into a more relaxed state? Or because you live in England or somewhere where it rains quite a lot during the winter and spring, would you rather not hear rain at all? These two recordings demonstrate how one word can be defined in different ways. The sound of rain can be demonstrated in many different ways. There can be the sound of hard rain that makes us feel stimulated, down to the relaxing rain. And I gather that different people will have different responses depending on what they like. The next sound is the sound of bees. And the question is again, do you find it relaxing, or how does it make you feel? And are you able to extract what it is that relaxes you? This fourth clip is also bees, but it's quite different, isn't it, from the first sound of bees that we heard. And I find it's more stimulating as a sound, and I would certainly have my eyes open. Whereas the first sound of bees made me feel, with the song of the birds in the background, it made me think of a summer's garden, and that was quite relaxing in itself. Yet I used to often sit in my garden next to the mint when it was in flower, with lots of bees, honeybees, bumblebees, and solitary bees would come and feed off the mint flowers. And the noise was probably louder than the first clip. But I felt quite relaxed in the sunshine, and I would open my eyes occasionally and watch them moving from flower to flower, and feel that I was blessed to be in their company. Now compare to the gentle sound of the koshi chimes. How do chimes make you feel? Are they gentle? Do they work well when you hear chimes with the wind and the rain? Do they make you feel relaxed? I look forward to hearing from you to find out what you think about these different sounds and if they help you get into a relaxed state. A combination of chimes and gentle rain. It makes me feel quite relaxed. In my house, I used to have wind chimes hanging outside the bedroom door. And when there was wind breathing through the chimes and the rain was falling, I was always quite glad that I was in my bed listening to it. I also found, from the tonic of sound, koshi chimes through the root chakra to the crown chakra. And if you would like to sit back and relax to these, please keep listening.